Hi everybody, I'm at a WeWork in London today. I'm actually at the Waterloo location and I am loving it. I've never been to this location before, but it's beautiful and sunny, and there's lots of different meeting options, impromptu meeting options here, and arcade games, and it's just quite a cool space. But I wanted to come on for this newsletter today and talk about articulating your value. This is something I find I'm talking to a lot of officials about lately, and despite having a whole workshop on this to help people with their resumes and their CVs and how important this particular step is, I'm trying to figure out new ways to drive this home because it still doesn't quite sink in. So I'm thinking about starting a sort of job clinic, CV clinic, resume clinic, something like that, where it's sort of like our tech hack that happens once a month. We'll do it we'll maybe start off with a few once every 2 weeks and then move to maybe once a month. But I feel like maybe the messaging has to be repeated and needs to be something that you observe and watch to learn. So what am I talking about when I'm talking about articulating your value? So I'm looking at a lot of resumes, and it's very clear, especially for assistants, that we do particular categories of things. I think categorizing your tasks, especially when you're trying to prioritize your tasks in your to-do list, but also when you're trying to highlight what you are capable of in your resume or on your LinkedIn, or even when you just talk about yourself as an assistant, we're not highlighting what category we're trying to define, what kind of task we're trying to define, but also what we do, who we do it for, and the value that brings to the company or the executive. So the way I describe this is, if we just think about your resume or CV, that is like your marketing collateral. Imagine you are a freelancer, a consultant, or a startup. You're trying to sell your services. That is your marketing brochure with your services that says, these are the services I provide, broken up into the categories of the different types of work that you can do. Inbox management, executive support, travel planning, event planning. And then your LinkedIn profile is a bit like your website, where you want to drive people back there, and that has to be consistent with your services brochure. So your LinkedIn has to be consistent with your resume. Okay, but getting back to this value, articulating your value, and how we have so many courses on this, but also we have webinars, and obviously we need to just keep driving this home. Just think about your resume. So if you type in executive support, on your resume, executive support, have that bold, and then a dash, or hit enter and below it, so that you're going to now describe how you provide executive support. It could be something like, some of you have definitely heard me say this before. I promise I will come up with new ways to say this, but what you do is you strategically deploy your executive's time to keep them focused on their targets, growth accelerating initiatives, that you remove friction from their day so that they can keep so they can stay focused and productive. You remove friction from their day. You provide data, essential data, and key figures, as well as make sure you protect and reserve decision-making time so that they can focus on the initiatives and the decisions that accelerate the growth of the company. So not just something that says, like, I provide all manner of, I support the CEO by helping with scheduling, inbox management, travel planning. You're putting all the categories in one thing, and you're discounting what you do. You're not saying the value. And the reason why you need to say the value is this. Tell me if this sounds like you. You came in to your job saying, I can help with anything. I can help with that, we can fix that, we can do that. And then when you got hired, you're like, okay, what do you want me to do? So you gave away any power that you had in the interview of saying, I'm going to help manage this and take this over. And then you go in and you turn the tables and go, okay, now you have to instruct me instead of I'm going to take control. And then later, after you take on all this work, you basically said you're a doormat, you're a yes person, you're going to take on all this work. And then eventually you freak out and go, I can't take on all this work. And you snap. Or you push back subtly, just matter-of-factly. But because you've not set up the narrative of the value and articulated the value you bring, that's going to catch people off guard, because all of a sudden it's going to look like, well, she said she could do all this stuff, or he said he could do all this stuff, and now that person can't. And it's going to seem really funny. And then in that moment where they're like, oh, is this person really not good at their job? Or if you think that might happen, it usually doesn't happen as often as you think. They can't answer that. They know they need someone in that position, but if you look at job descriptions from companies, they do not articulate the value. They say it's an essential member, you're helping support the executive, but they can't really go any deeper than that. There's some really good companies out there that do write good job descriptions. I encourage you to use job descriptions as places to find this vocabulary to be able to articulate your value, but it's going to be like 10% of the job descriptions you see. Most of them just say travel planning, inbox management, scheduling, that kind of stuff. But when you find a good one, take the words from it, note it, share it in your communities and say, I thought this was great because it really does sound like what we do. But if you do not have that language to properly articulate your value, then when you do push back and you wonder why they don't understand, it's more frustrating when they don't understand that you have all this piled up. You've kind of been hinting at it and saying it, and you realize they don't understand your value. They don't understand why you have to protect your time to work on particular projects, and you don't have the vocabulary to talk to them about it and say, I'm supposed to help you I'm here to deploy your time. I'm here to know what your strategies are. Your goals are my goals. You want me to goal set? Tell me what your goals are. Then I help you meet those goals. I do that through mostly time and logistic deployment. Doing that strategically, knowing what initiatives are coming ahead. I network within the company with our clients and help connect you to things that will help those initiatives happen faster. But I can't do that if I'm getting thrown every lunch order, every this, that, and the other. I'm happy to do those things if that was necessary and trumped the strategies that we're moving forward with. Either you can say, I suggest we need to have a support system or a support person in this admin team. Or you can say, let's join up with a company that helps just deliver all of our catering. It's a set it and forget it type situation. You can have those types of situations. Don't just come, or have those types of conversations. Don't just come with problems, come with solutions. And so, but you need that vocabulary to say, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is what I'm trying to do, and you are not setting me up for success. How am I going to hit these initiatives? And that's why it's so important that your job descriptions are correct. I know so many assistants, because we don't have this vocabulary, they fight for more responsibility because they think that is what's going to give them respect. And I actually just spoke with an assistant the other day that wished she hadn't fought to have something put on her job description, because it now is something that she's measured against when it's something that is so up and beyond what she does, that it's actually kind of a pain in the ass. And when it comes to goal setting, it's going to get her in trouble. But I think you need to be very clear and start with the basics. Figure out those categories of what you do: executive support, complex scheduling, and call it time deployment. Find out other ways to talk about it. Do you do social events, things around culture and DE&I? Then you want some vocabulary? Look up, why do I need to have coffee chats at my company? Why do I need to set up impromptu social events? Why do I need to set up why do I need DE&I initiatives? And it will give you, in a simple Google search, the vocabulary, because it improves retention, improves employee engagement and satisfaction, which therefore improves productivity and makes you more profitable. That's the value you bring. So you got to connect the dots between the thing you do and why that's essential to the company. And just going back to that marketing brochure, is people think their resume is supposed to be their entire work history, and they just write, especially a lot of women, will write everything. I'll prove that, I'll show them everything I've ever done. But sometimes that can paint a confusing story, a confusing narrative. And so what you want to do is look at the customer, do these categories, figure out what you do, who you do it for, and the value you bring to the company. And then when you have those bits and pieces down, you get those categories with the what you do, who you do it for, and why you do it, the value you bring, onto your resume. But then look at the job description and make sure what you have there lines up with what's on the job description. You can make a master resume that's like 5 pages long and then cut it down to 2 pages or whatever, or 1 to 2 pages, whatever you feel comfortable with, based on what they have in their job description. There's so much more to tell you. I'm not even going to go into it about what it should be on your resume. However, think about the customer is the most important part. Make sure that your services match what they're looking for and that you're telling them why they need you, because they suck at it. They suck at connecting the value we bring. They know we're valuable. We know we're valuable. We don't have the language. Why should they? And we often look to them for that language. So I hope this was helpful. I've surveyed below asking you what you think about doing these sort of job clinic type videos, whether you want it to, let me know if you want it to be, reply to this email, let me know if you think it should be on YouTube, whether it should be an officials only event, no matter what, even if it's an officials only event, which I think is actually interesting. We will do some or release some on YouTube or make them public to give you a flavor of what they're going to look like. And then if we do have them be public, then it's likely that they will have a low cost to them for anyone that's not an official. And if you're an official, they're free. I think that's what we might do. So tell me what you think. Brainstorm. This is a shared knowledge community, so we want to know more about what you want from here. But what do you think about this value? How easy is it for you to articulate your value? And would those job clinics be beneficial for you? But I hope everyone has a great day. Remember, our big sale ends tomorrow. I'd say Saturday morning for us in the UK. It's probably when I'll get up and actually do the switch over with my team. And so this is your chance to get access to the officials for $1.99 in US dollars. If you're in the UK, that's like £1.20, £1.20, I think. So, and you get access to everything for 7 days. We invite you into the community. You see all of the courses that we have. We have new courses coming up. And then after that, it's $21.99. So I think someone just told me in the UK that's £16. In America, it's obviously $21.99. But you skip our joining fee, which is $25 by doing it this way. We had so many new members. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do a proper induction meeting, which we're going to be scheduling here tomorrow. We're going to put it in the diary and really show you guys around, get to know you, and find out how we can help you. So I'm so excited. I hope that this message on articulating your value was helpful to you today. And write me back, reply to this with any questions you have or any suggestions. I'd love to hear them. Have a great day, everybody.